morning and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. We just so love that countdown. It's like ridiculous.
Buenos días, mi gente. Buenos días. Antes December 29th, beautiful Tuesday morning.
The last week of 2020. Woohoo! I bet everybody's so happy to get rid of 2020. But the interesting thing is we're happy to get rid of 2020 and we think that we're going to wake up January 1st, 2021 and the sky is going to open up and everything is going to be back to normal. So we are here to tell you that's not going to be true. However, we're going to teach you this week how to make it open up for you. So good morning. Welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am Lori Monaco, the badass Buddha, coming to you from a beautiful, sunny but cold Southern California. I am a life coach.
You're from Southern California?
Oh my God, did I say Southern California? Oh my God, wishful thinking. Thanks for catching that. Southern Connecticut. Oh, you know, the two C's. My sister lives in Cali. I am a life coach who doesn't know where the hell she lives and doesn't know geography. I specialize in transformation and mindfulness practice. I'm also known as the fat eviction specialist for my weight loss program. And I'm a speaker and a workshop facilitator and also a chiropractic physician. So welcome.
Welcome. Wow. Nice resume. Hola, mi gente. I am La Margarita, your gladiator guru. I am your spiritual and creative healing life coach. I am your writer, your blogger, your artist. I am a jack of all trades, but most important, soy la Margarita, la morena guapa. Good morning, and thank you for being on Viva Café con Leche. Where's your taza de café, mi gente?
You're also a wedding officiant, right?
Oh, yeah.
You just had a lovely, you had a practice run, not even a practice run, a real
No.
run.
Yeah, I married somebody this weekend. It was awesome. It was like second nature, so it was pretty good.
Fantastic.
I enjoyed it. I really did.
Good.
So that's why 2020 became the new norm for me. Like it birthed a whole new Margarita.
Yes, I agree with you. That's why the title of today's program was very tongue-in-cheek in a way. It's FU 2020, and it's because of all there was a lot of bullshit that happened this year, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean, to me, the pandemic and the infection and all this stuff was all bullshit. Not bullshit that it's not true, not bullshit like that. I mean, it was just something that really threw a lot of people off. It really sidelined a lot of people. Other people grew from it. So that's where the tongue in cheek comes into play, because yes, you know, we want to be respectful about people's lost lives, but we do want to focus on the good and the bad of 2020 and then make fun as much as we can of the bad and then really uplift the positive of 2020. So I agree with you, Guru. It was my year also. It was a very uplifting year for me as far as self-discovery and changes. So I'm glad you brought that up. So thank
Absolutely.
you.
Because when we're shoved in a certain direction, we tend to try and fight it.
Yes. When we're born.
And we always lose when we fight what's meant for us, and then we wonder the whys. And I think that although it was frightening, many people were unsure, job, or all that other stuff that happened, it also helped to remind you to continue on your journey of inquiring within. So you had no place to go but to sit with yourself and learn who the hell you are. And if you didn't do that, then you missed the whole season of your life that was imperative for your growth.
But it must not have been your time. So that means that 2021 it needs to be your time. But yes, Guru is absolutely right about that. You know, we fight what we are afraid of. We fight what's uncomfortable. Uncertainty. That was almost the whole entire year was uncertainty. And you heard that over and over again in this time of uncertainty. You know, the reality is that life is uncertain. we think that we have control of life and we think that everything is certain, but it's not. It's just we got smacked in the face with uncertainty, and people either like really sank or swim. Actually, it wasn't either or though. It was some people sank, some people swim, and some people are treading water in the middle going, I can't keep going. I can't keep going. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about your wins and what you can do to propel yourself into 2021. Do you want to start with the coffee? I know you started to mention that you picked up your cup and I interrupted you, but would you like to do the coffee first and then we'll set our intention and then you get going? Because I know you've researched a lot of really juicy stuff for today.
I'm drinking Cafe Bustelo this morning with my monk fruit sugar. I'm adjusting to that little kick after taste of the sugar, because let's go with the sugar. When you're so accustomed to something, whether it's a good thing or a bad relationship, you tend to just stick with it because it's what you know. Your taste buds are familiar with it, and sugar's not good for us. So anytime we try to make that shift to find something that's good, it's always going to leave like an aftertaste. You're going to be like, I'm not too sure about that. Even honey, like I remember in the past, I'm a survivor. Whenever I ran out of sugar, I went to my honey, poured a teaspoon of honey in my coffee. It's still a different taste than that white poison,
yes.
That white addictive poison. And I'm talking about sugar, mi gente. And
or your significant other, either way, either one works.
So it's an adjustment, but then that's what life is, right? Every season you have to adjust. Like every summer, you have to adjust to putting all your summer clothes away and taking out your fall clothes, and then your winter, and
unless
you adjust.
Hawaii or Southern California, and then you don't. But yes, absolutely. Or if you live in Southern Texas, or yes, go ahead.
You feel better saying that? Okay, as long as you felt good, that's all that matters. So what I'm saying is it's all an adjustment. Life is all an adjustment. And right now I'm adjusting to the sugar. And it's been a couple weeks already that I'm on it, but it's still done. Do I want to go back to the other sugar? I don't think so, because I just feel different with this one. It's always the little things, mi gente. Siempre las cosas más pequeñas son las que hace la diferencia, la gran diferencia. Little things create big changes and big differences.
But you even said though, you like your monk fruit, but you like it with the extra, like the coconut milk that makes it sort of all work out better. So it's like the combination,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel your pain because I'm drinking the same. I'm having in my life is good. You can't see it. There we go. My life is good. I'm wearing all hearts today. I have a heart bracelet that I got, and then I have my children and my heart. And I'm having Starbucks pumpkin spice. I figure I have to drink the pumpkin spice before the end of the real season, because I was talking about this with somebody. It was a coaching client, how seasons, like flavors come out in certain seasons, and they work perfectly for that season. But then when you try to, like, if you bring out pumpkin spice in like spring, people be like, really? Like, because it doesn't match, especially in the Northeast. So like Dunkin' Donuts, for instance, or Starbucks, they brag about, oh, it's the season, the seasonal flavors come out, right? And then after a point, they go away. And we like to do that. It's like we compartmentalize and we put it away. And so I'm drinking my pumpkin spice to get rid of it before I don't feel like I'm in the mood for it anymore. And in my life is good cup.
Good for you. No, I like Abuelita's authentic café con leche. I really
monk fruit, by the way.
I'm really with your monk fruit.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to lead up to. I was going to tell you that I'm the same way. It's black with the monk fruit, and yes, there's this little aftertaste that sort of just you kind of push to the side.
But with all the other sugars that I've tried, that aftertaste is horrendous. So when I first tried monk fruit, I fell in love because it wasn't as strong. It wasn't as loud.
Yes.
It didn't like shrivel up my taste buds on my tongue, because my café con leche, what is it? It's an intimacy that caresses my tongue and ignites just a shiver in me. And that's café con leche. Café con leche es mi pasión. So it has to be very, very enjoyable for me. And it hasn't been in the last couple weeks. But
For
I
good reason.
survived. That's like being celibate. You know you're missing out. You know you're missing out.
And then when you go back to it, you're like, woo! You really appreciate it more. Is that what
So yeah. So that's cafe. So please, people, I haven't been getting a lot. It's not a waste of your time. Trust me, the merchandise is coming. So please send us photos. Either tag us in your Facebook or send it to us in our messenger. Photos of either you with your taza de café or just your taza de café. But let's get back into that. And it's like, I'm telling you, the merchandise is coming. You won't be disappointed, and there will be winners.
Yeah, and speaking of, just keep something in mind. We will talk about this today, that we just started in May, and I think we got so excited and so ahead of ourselves to say, let's do the contest and let's hand out merchandise and stuff like that. Before we even had a logo, before we even had our shit together, basically. And because we knew that this was going to be really like something special and something big. So as you could see, as you've stayed with us, we've created a logo. We have our font for the actual name, and it fits us perfectly. It's like such a perfect example of us, representation. And so Guru's right that this coming year we're putting everything together as far as the merchandise. Our intention is to create a little online store, and you can buy merchandise. As we get bigger, we're not going to forget about the people who started with us. And it is important for you to put a picture of your cup. We've got some very creative pictures of people posing their cup. But also, if you're not afraid to do it, put yourself in, if you want to post the cup and then have yourself in the background, doing whatever, it's, get yourself there, because you'll be one of those first people. Once we really start building up this audience, you'll be one of the first people that are part of this, and you'll be recognized for that, because they'll be able to see when your pictures were done, So we definitely encourage that.
Yes, and I just want to get some shout outs. I didn't even have it on comments, so I didn't even know who was on. So, buenos dias, Francia. Good morning, Tiffany Bryant. Nubia de Oliveira. Buenos dias.
Nubia.
Michelle Houston. Maria Garcia. Good morning, sis. Kimberly Sanchez. Good morning, ladies. She says, I know, but I just love sugar. Iritza, hello, my love. Eileen King says, good morning, ladies. Finally made it to a live broadcast since babysitting. Welcome, Eileen. I'm so happy you're here. Kimberly says she's having Dunkin' Donuts with extra cream and extra sugar. And Iris says, Bustelo made in my new coffee press. FYI, you girls owe me a cup. My favorite cup broke yesterday. Well, thank you for shouting us out. Love you too. Good morning and welcome. And I'm so happy that you are on today.
Who said we owe her a cup?
Beatty, remember, she's the one that was always sending the pics. She was the first draw we made.
Iritza? Yes. Iritza, you're on our list. Actually, you were the one that won. In the way beginning, we just never said anything. So
well, because we had to adjust. We had to adjust some of the logo. So it's not that.
You will be the first to receive it. Yes. And look at Michelle. Michelle says, I went with the flow, and it has been one of my best years in spite of losing my job. That a girl. The shift and flow. That's all we can do. We adapt, we survive, and hopefully we do a little bit more than just survive. We enjoy, we feel fulfilled, and we move forward. And as we propel ourselves forward, we grab hold of anybody who's standing next to us to pull them in with us, because that is our job. That is our job as the tribe. Our job is to, as we move forward, any stragglers that are sitting on the side going, yeah, I can't do it anymore. You grab them, you go, no, you get up. Come on, motherfucker. And you grab them.
Yeah, because you know what? I think a lot of people, they lose sight of what's a tribe. A tribe could be just a bunch of women with goals, and maybe some of you just have the dream in your thought process, but you're either afraid to put it onto paper, or you just don't know how to start. But that's what a tribe is for. It's not jealousy, it's not competition. It's about saying, all right, give me a minute, let me finish what I've been working on, and then reaching over and assisting. That's a tribe, and that's what we're here for. So I think that everybody we are driving a different lane, but we might all be on the same highway, and then we'll veer off when our exits come. But while we're there together in our own lanes, doing what we got to do for us, it's a beautiful thing to reach out and say, what are you doing? Come on, push up, venga, animo.
Each other as you're driving. Hey, what's up? In the car.
And that's what it is. It's acknowledging one another. It's motivating and inspiring one another, either with words, a simple text, hey, how's everything going? That's all it is. It doesn't cost you anything. It's about having an open heart and a flowing mind, that that it's like when you're at the airport and instead of walking your lazy ass down the thing, you get on
the walker.
Yeah. That slow thing. And to me, it's like, oh my God, I'm like 5 minutes behind now because I just wanted to glide. Well, sometimes you got to just buckle up your sneakers and just power walk that bitch. And then you say, listen, I'm going to be late and I just can't do this. I'll power walk with you, whether it's on the phone, whether it's through Zoom, whether it's showing up with my mask. That's what a tribe is. So just keep that in mind going forward, because this year, if you found yourself alone, if you found yourself unable to have that human touch and interaction with one another, realize the importance of it. And moving forward, that's the only way we're going to move forward. It's with the light of other spirits.
Actually, you brought up a really good point. You said if you realized you were alone this year, then if that wasn't okay for you, then what are you going to do about it for 2021? That's the point. Like and being alone doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like some of you might have found that this 2021 allowed for 2020 allowed for solitude for yourself, that being alone there was like a little breath of fresh air, and it was unexpected, because sometimes people don't like to be alone because they think it's a bad thing. So if it was a good thing, then great. But for those of you that if it was a bad thing, then that's the whole point. That's what we're going to do, is we're going to talk about 2020 today. And then we're going to shift Thursday's conversation into setting really powerful intentions for 2021 with one of our favorite guests on the show, Mr. Happy himself. Ephraim Silva is going to come on, and you know him. He's so joyful. So it'll definitely get you motivated. It'd be a great way to start your New Year's Eve celebration, because it'll be that morning. So let's do the intention. How about that? And let's get talking about this fabulous conversation, because I know Guru did a lot of fantastic research. So I got the intention this morning, correct, my friend?
Yes, you do.
All right. So here we go. I will learn from my past to better my future by being more aware, more open, and more present. Okay. I will learn from my past to better my future by being more aware, more open, and more present.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. The mantra: fall in love with the process and the results will come. It's that simple. Fall in love with the process and the results will come.
Oh my God, that's really powerful.
And I translate that in: keep doing what you're doing and believe in it, and you will reach your success.
And you say it one more time. And listen, everyone, I want you to, if you have a pen or paper, if you have your phone next to you, write what Guru is saying down. And I'm going to tell you why in a second. So go ahead and say it one more time.
Fall in love with the process and the results will come.
So this is a mantra that you need to hang on your wall and near your bed or in your bathroom on the mirror, and you need to look at it every single day. You have to be reminded to trust in the process, because everything bad that happens, there is always good that's attached to it. It just depends on how you look at it and what you do with it. And if you know that everything happens for a reason, how we respond to it is the game-changing piece, then you know that you are completely in control of your life. Even when the worst of the worst happens, what will you do from this? What will you take from this? And that's what we want to propel you into 2021 with, because we don't want you to look at 2020 as the most awful year in the history of the world. I'm sure there are worse, but we need to look at, okay, what did we learn from 2020? That's the conversation that's going to happen today, is what, with everything that happened, the good, the bad, and even the ugly, what did we learn from 2020? And then on Thursday, we'll start the conversation on what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do with that information? And what are we going to create for 2021? So thank you for that mantra. That mantra, I think, was probably one of the most powerful mantras that we've put in this time that we've been doing it. And remember, thinking about mantras is they're meant for you to repeat that throughout your day. Repeat that every day. And if it really resonates with you, that's why I said hang it up on your wall. Look at it every single day. I have a whole bunch of stuff on my wall that I have hanging there that I look at every single morning when I get up. And sometimes it's not right when I first get up, but I look at it and I take the moment to read it and remind myself, and even throughout my day, remind myself. Like one of mine is 2021 equals success. And I put period to like really emphasize that. 2021 equals money, period. And I've never been a money driven person. And I'm still not. I'm a service driven person, but I've always had money blocks. And so I've had to deal with those this year. And now 2021, my intention is to go in without those blocks, because I have never been able to reach my fullest potential financially because I've blocked myself for so many years. And so this is why these are really, really powerful mantras, and, write them down, hang them up. So
of course you have to.
That was fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
There's like an echo on when I speak.
There's just an echo on your side.
I hear it from you.
Oh, I'm echoing. Oh, the whole time I've been echoing.
Well, when I speak, I hear an echo back.
Oh, check your camera. See down below where it says camera mic. Make sure that your echo, then go into audio and make sure echo cancellation is checked.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I don't know. Does it keep happening?
Does anybody else hear it? Or maybe it's just me. But everything I say, I hear it back. But yes, I think I put in my little jar every day, and in my prayers for financial abundance. Don't be afraid to pray for what you ask for. God likes specifics. When you manifest, you must be specific. That's the laws of attraction. You have to be specific in what it is you're asking for. So don't ask for a general request and then be upset when you get pennies on the dollar. You have to always be specific. When you go order your sandwich, you're very specific. No onions, a little bit of mustard, cut the tomato, add some pickles. So, and that's how you have to be with your life. You have to be specific. So what is it that I want to do today? Boom. You ask for it in very clear words.
Yes.
Be specific with your life when you're talking to God, when you're talking to the universe, when you're talking to your reflection in the mirror. Be specific. And then the rewards, they go on and on for you. They work in your favor.
Yes.
So let's focus on being going into the new year, being specific. It's like when somebody asks you that question, who are you? And you're like stumped, like, I do this, I do that. I don't care how many kids you have. I don't care how long you've been at a job. I really don't care what kind of car you drive. I'm asking, who are you? Right. And 8 out of 10 times, that question cannot be answered when you ask somebody that way.
Yes.
Why? Because you're not being specific with yourself. Be specific. Talk to yourself in the mirror if you need to have a reflection. What better reflection to look at than yours? And when you're asking yourself, what is it that you want? Well, you got to see your expressions. Learn yourself. You got to inquire within for all those deep-rooted, suppressed, feared emotions and thoughts that have been shoved down throughout the years. Inquire within and release them. And then talk to yourself in the mirror and watch your reflection and see what are you holding back on. Because life is going to keep moving forward. Time waits for no one. So you putting pause on your own growth, on your own healing, you're only hurting yourself. So don't look around and say, why everybody got it going on and I'm still stuck here? That's a question only you can answer. So pa'lante and inquiring, pa'lante and being specific for what you want. When I pray, I pray for God. I surrender, take the reins, you lead, I follow, because I've been heading to dead ends on my own. I can't keep doing that. And I ask for financial abundance.
Yes, and you can't say, like, seriously be specific. Like if you say, I want an extra $50,000 for 2021, you say, I want 50,000. You don't sit there and go, well, I would love 50,000, but if I don't get that, I'm okay, because that's what God and the universe is going to hear. Just ask for it. Like, what do you have to lose? Seriously. Like, and most of the time you either feel guilty about it. So you're like, oh, I can't ask for $50,000. Why not? What are you going to do with the $50,000? It's not like you're going to go and like run off on your, leave everybody behind with that 50 grand. Most of the time you're going to take that 50 grand and do something really wonderful with it. So ask for it. It doesn't hurt. I mean, seriously, it's like you have nothing to lose to ask for a very specific amount. You have nothing to lose to ask for what it is that you want in your life. Just ask for it. So we are, we do want to get to the FU 2020 talk. We're so excited about talking about 2021 that we were already starting to throw stuff out there for you. So we want to leave that for Thursday. But listen, Guru, announcement. You want to give the announcement or do you want me to give the announcement?
No, go ahead, because I like to see a scroll. I like a visual.
So we just want to, so 2020 has been quite the year for everybody, right? So, oh, my thing is on backwards, my locket. Oh no, okay, there we go. So 2020 has been full of challenges and it has been full of unbelievable successes for some people and new beginnings and end to other things. We saw a lot of closures. We saw a lot of things go out of business. But we also saw new rising, new ways of thinking. And that's the beauty of it. And that's what is the beauty of being human, is we adapt, just like actually any animal. It has nothing to do with being a human. It's just we have a higher level of adaptation. But any animal that survives adapts to its surroundings. And that's exactly what we did. And so Viva Cafe con Leche is no exception to this. Viva came on as a result of the pandemic. So this was, we've mentioned it numerous times, and this was a conversation between Carmen Nieves and Gladiator Guru. And it was Carmen's idea to come up with this coffee talk show. And she pitched it to Guru. And she said, you'd be perfect for this. And then Guru was like, oh my God. And then she thought of me and she would like to do it with me. And the next thing you know, within a week, I think it was like right within a week or 2 weeks, we were just up and running. We just did it. We didn't think about it. We just put it together. And that's the way things work. When you have a really great idea, you don't want to sit there and have paralysis of analysis. You don't want to sit there and think too much. You don't want to also throw in, but it wasn't anything that was going to cost us money. So, or something that was going to be costly to us. So we just did it. And so because of the pandemic, this is how Viva birthed, because Guru and I were talking about it yesterday on our call. And we thought that, would it have happened if there was no pandemic? And we don't know. Maybe it would have, maybe it wouldn't have, but it definitely wouldn't have happened as organically as it has, because we were both doing our own thing, and we both had schedules and we were both busy. So would we have been able to commit to Tuesday, Thursday mornings and consecutively? I don't know, because we all had stuff going on. So the pandemic definitely rose to this. The moment that we discussed this idea, we were so excited about it. And we have been excited ever since. Every time we get on our planning calls, we are just so thrilled to pick up ideas and figure out guests and think about what we're going to talk about. And then when we get online and start talking to you. So we knew that it was going to go bigger. Like we knew that was our intention all along. And it was only the intention not to boost up our businesses, although that would be a lovely side effect, but it was because we wanted to be able to share our insight from what we've learned over the years, our bad choices, all that stuff. We want to share with you to help you grow and then also have the tribe share. So we knew this was going to go somewhere. So interestingly, one of our guests that we've had on the show, she has a radio show that is, on across the nation. And she actually loves our show so much that she created a spot for us. So starting January 8th, we are going to be on what is called Viva After Dark. And let me put our little thing in here. So we're going to put our thing. Okay, so starting January 8th, Viva After Dark, 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. I hope I can stay up. I'm going to have my coffee on Blog Talk Radio, Word of Mom Radio. And we have the link there where you could listen to us. And it's just us talking for 2 hours about whatever comes up. We can have guests on, we could have call-ins. I mean, it's like anything goes. And because it is late at night on internet radio, we could be just as raw as we normally are on this show. So for now, it is once a month, but we are, we're going to see how it goes for the first 3 months. And if we are going to be as popular as we think we are, and as our friend Dory thinks we are, then we are going to add another show and do like twice a month. So that's that piece. So that starts January 8th. And the interesting thing is the Blog Talk Radio. Oh, you need to say something?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
We're also going to be available as a result of this on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iTunes, iHeartRadio, among several other platforms. So we are infecting you. We are infecting the airwaves or whatever waves they have now. So Viva is going to be a household name. And then in addition, in March, we're going to be on the start of many podcasts for this year, guests on podcasts, Women Who Starcast, which is out of California. The specific date will come, but we're recording in February. So go ahead, Guru.
No. That's what I was just going to add. Make sure you added the different podcasts we're going to go on. Because let me tell you something. It's about loving who you are. And it's about accepting who you are, where you're at. It's not about people pleasing. Because anybody who knows me knows I don't go that route. I am who I am. I don't customize me to fit in anybody's style. Either you like me or you don't. Either way, I'm fine because I love me. And so those who know me, give a shout out because, that's the only way that I do it. So I believe that, the rewards that you receive from being authentic and being yourself, they're endless. And there's something that a pandemic cannot stop. Now, let me tell you something. It'll put pause on your life. It'll make you go a little slower, take, unfamiliar territory that we headed into. But it should not have stopped anything. And that's what we'll talk about. But I think that Viva Cafe con Leche is like laughter is my favorite song. And coffee is my intimate passions. Viva Cafe and music is life, right? Those are my three favorite things that I can talk about forever. When people say, who are you? I am music. I am laughter. I am your hot, steaming cup of cafe con leche.
Emphasis on the steamy.
Yes, I am Mother Moon's favorite child. And Viva, I love Viva Cafe con Leche. I love the people who take the time to come on and listen, and those that watch the show afterwards. I think that we all learn. I know that I learn when you write comments, when you share your knowledge and your experiences with us. in the comments. That's what I'm talking about, a tribe, because I don't know everything. The badass Buddha doesn't know everything. You might not have known something we spoke about, but whatever you're going to comment on, it's going to be, you know, a beautiful thing for us to learn and to adapt to, because that's what being women, powerful women, women of growth, you know, the power of pussy, all of that is the tribe. That the only reason you connect with the tribe is so that we can all grow like the branches of a tree. We're all one. You know, we are the Garden of Eden. We are the birds of life. We are the power of pussy. So all we got to do is just grow together without competition and branch off into what it is our purpose is in life. And that's what Viva Cafe con Leche is to me. It is like, to me, it has been such a blessing for 2020. And I can go on and talk about Viva, because you know what? I think it's wonderful. We are actually branching out, and we are going to give like the beautiful breezes when we reach out and our voices are heard all over the nation and we speak. And so, I mean, the sky's the limit, mi gente, with us, and it can be with anything that you put forth in doing. Go ahead.
Right. And this happened. So remember, like, again, you know, this is, would Guru and I have ever thought, like, if we said New Year's Eve 2019 going into 2020, would we have ever had a conversation on the phone and said, oh, by the way, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to do this for 2020? And neither of us would have ever believed it. Like, we would have been like, really? Like, what, you know, because I remember having conversations with Gladiator Guru in the fall of 2019 when we would meet for our weekly lunch, you know, and we would talk. She was talking about her podcast when she got back to Florida. And it's like, we had all these other things. And I never even had any of that in my head. Like, I was just thinking, oh, well, I'm just going to build up more speaking gigs and blah, blah, blah. So it's amazing when, again, you just open yourself up to possibilities and then just say, what the fuck? I'm just going to go for it. Like, why not? You know? And I have to say, without getting weepy, that I am getting weepy. The journey has been fabulous with this lady. I love this lady so much.
Thank you.
And it's been so much fun, and we have so much fun together. So I couldn't have asked for a more phenomenal partner in crime, truly. Like, so I am so excited about going into 2021 with you, mi gente, and mi amiga. And look, so I'm getting a little weepy. So I don't want to mess up my eye makeup. It took me a long time to get it.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you. I honor you too. That's beautiful. It is. And yeah, I did. I forgot that I had plans to come do a podcast. Even though I'm still gonna that's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about, we started this 2020. Thank you, Michelle. And Amanda, thank you for that, because that's just how it is. That's just how it is. I'm not custom made for everyone's different sensitivities.
So let's talk about the challenges. Like, what do you have for us? What did you write up for 2010? I got to keep wiping my eyes. Let's talk about some of the challenges we've had over 2020, and then let's sort of like move through. So what did you wrote some stuff up there, right? Did you do
yeah I wrote some funny stuff, but I think that some of the challenges, I moved my mom to come live with me in Tampa from Connecticut. We actually got here the second she got in here. She flew in with my sister. She got here on the second. I drove up down from Connecticut, so I got here on the 3rd of March. Then a week later, we went into quarantine. So just with bringing her here, trying to get her, you know, with her dementia, trying to get her comfortable and familiar with being in my house here in Florida, that was a task on its own. And then the quarantine hit and you couldn't go nowhere. So, you know, I came here with the intentions of doing a whole bunch of stuff. And so that put a pause on it. But that wasn't the important stuff. I kind of like my light was dimming a bit. And then boom, the end of April, Viva Cafe con Leche was put in my ear. Thank you, Carmen Nieves. And then here we are. But the thing is, and I'm gonna tell you, mi gente, I am all over the place. I can be the Tasmanian devil. I want something, I want it done now, whatever. But going through that phase of feeling my light dim, so stressed out, like I don't want my mom to get sick, but I really didn't. Like, I don't know, the hype about everything was just too much. Get weight gain, and then what happens? You still trust the process. And I believe that because the underlinement of all of that unknown fuckery, I still trusted the process.
I like
And
that fuckery.
And that's why here, and that's why we could, at the end of the day, where you're supposed to land, you're going to land, whether you land on your ass or you land on your feet. So, mi gente, my advice to you is trust the process, like the mantra, fall in love with the process. And even though you can't see it, you can't hear it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, fall in love with the process that was placed in your heart and it's running back and forth in your thoughts. Fall in love with it. And then when it arrives, you're going to land firmly on your feet. Because if you start second guessing yourself, the universe, God, whatever's in front of your nose, because half the time people only deal with what's right here, you're going to fall on your ass. And then don't come crying to me, because I'm not going to be your life coach then. Because if I'm telling you all this up now, then you still fall on your ass, what's going to happen? Huh? You got to trust the process, just like you trust that your next breath is going to come. That's how simple life is.
Tough coach, man. I'm telling you. So you really get shit done with her getting coached by this fantastic gladiator guru. So let's talk about 2020. So, our big focus for 2020 has been on nothing but really the pandemic. I'm going to take that back. Not nothing, but mostly the pandemic. Even the things that have been created were a result of the pandemic. So that overall has been the focus. We won't deny that. I started to look back last night at things that happened before the pandemic. And there's so many things that we weren't even paying attention to I didn't even know this. So in January, do you know that we almost started World War III? Did you know that?
No, because I didn't know that because I was too busy being in Colombia. I was in Colombia for a week in January.
Oh yeah, that's
on the
right.
beaches.
Right.
Yeah.
So we almost started.
We knew something.
We started. I guess we bombed somebody. We killed some high official, and then they were talking about that Trump was going to start World War III. Then I didn't realize that the impeachment process got underway in January. What else happened? Harry and Meghan left the royal family. Who cares? So we all and then, but then all of a sudden March came in, and that's when February started the conversation on the pandemic in China, and then by mid-March that was that. All of a sudden we just sort of went into lockdown, and everything started getting canceled, and everything started to focus specifically on that. We had a lot of racial uproar this year on both sides, and both love and hate. We had our eyes opened wide with stuff that happened with the death of many African American individuals at the hands of white people.
Say that again without the pause. Without the pause. She's like,
I don't.
You acted.
I get weirded out talking I don't like talking color, but
yeah.
Yes. So, but the racial inequality became a big thing. And in the midst of the pandemic, we still managed to fight for things, and we fought for, this is enough already, Black Lives Matter. And that certain people were getting away with things, whether it be in the police departments or the government or whatever. And we started to take a stand. So this allowed us to focus on things and become more aware and say enough is enough, and we need to make more changes. We saw a lot of sexual harassment lawsuits that these bigwig people that were taking advantage decades of women getting jailed, sex trafficking, big wig people, attached to these sex trafficking things. And a lot of that got even swept under the table, but some of it came to the surface, and it's still coming up to the surface. So we had a lot come up this year. If you think about it, the pandemic was there, but all this other stuff came up, and it was very eye-opening. And if you weren't a part of it, like if you weren't like seeing it, and maybe not like physically a part of it, but if you were sharing posts and supporting these causes, then you were a part of this history, and were making a difference. You know, we saw the most bizarre presidential election ever, I think, in history, where it was the closest. I don't think it's ever been that close with any other president. We're still reeling from some of that stuff. You know, what is 2021 going to look like? How are we going to be treating each other? Are we going to be treating each other as humans, or are we going to be treating each other based on our color, on our ethnic background, on our religion? Or are we finally going to say that we are all one people? Are we going to stand up and say that we are stronger than even a little infection, a viral infection? Are we stronger than that? And we created resources that allowed us to keep connecting to people, to spread the word, so that, okay, we closed off from society, but society didn't close off from us. We had accessibility. You know, we made a lot of these companies step up that were hoarding all this information and technology, and step up and start giving stuff for free so that the masses could still communicate. And these are important things. Like we started to call out companies, we started to call out people to step up and do the right thing. But each of us, it takes us to do the right thing. Like we have to do the right thing specifically for ourselves. And the only way change comes is when we change, and then we request change from others, and we open them up to change without judgment. You know, I mean, I've never seen so many people step forth and do the most incredible, amazing things just to reach out to people. Just, you know, well, I mean, I've seen it before, but on a smaller scale. Like I saw it with 9/11, and I saw it with, you know, other things, but this was incredible. You saw entertainers getting on and giving free concerts online just to be able to connect with their fans. So there was a lot of giving this year. But we still have a long way to go. And here's the interesting thing about humans, especially in developed countries, it seems. We have a short-term memory, and we've got to be really, really careful about this, that we can't forget about what happened. Don't live in the past. There's a difference, okay? We don't want to forget what happened in the past, so that we can learn from it, bring it to our present. What are we going to do now for the future? So whatever happened in 2021, the good and the bad, we need to take that. We need to understand what we learned from it. We need to take it with today. What am I going to do today differently based on what I learned from my past to create my future? Like we even launched people back into space this year. There were so many incredible things that happened, but you know, some of us, it was so much that some people might not even be aware of all the stuff that happened.
And with that, I want to remind people that, you know what, there's magic in chaos. And because a lot of people were adapting and making those changes and giving the free concerts, it's because it was a devastating blow at the beginning of the year. You can't sugarcoat it. You can't paint it yellow and smile at it. It was what it was, and we have to accept it. What I want you to do is honor your inner warrior, that you made it out, that you thought of ideas, you started doing stuff from home, whatever it was. You have to not only honor, but wake that bitch up. Wake up that inner goddess, because mi gente, this was small to what might be coming. So you need to be on point with your survival skills, with your quick thinking. You need to trust the process and know that, oh, okay, I'm going this way, and don't walk with blinders on. Be aware, have a panoramic view everywhere you go of what's around you. So you know whether if you were planning on going right, but there's like a little hold up there, then guess what's gonna happen? That warrior is gonna say, well, let's go left. It's gonna take us a little longer, but we're gonna do it this way. Because you never know who you're gonna meet along the way. I believe that we need to be in tune with who we are. You need to be kind to people. You don't know what people are going through. Even in your worst, darkest moments, if you smile at a total stranger, some of that darkness, it dissipates.
And
Try
hopefully they
it.
don't have masks so you can see the smile.
But your eyes smile. Like I can tell when someone smiles at me with the
Yeah, I
mask
agree.
because I can see the eyes. And let me tell you that, you know what? I believe I'm a little rough around the edges. You know, I'm better than what I used to be in my earlier years, but I'm still that Margie. But I believe in kindness. I believe in speaking to strangers. I don't care who doesn't say good morning back to me. I don't care who doesn't say thank you when I open the door, because I'm not doing it to hear them say that. I'm doing it because that's what comes out of my heart. So if you learn that, you become a changed person. And kindness and acceptance without judgment is it's an easy process. You know, who cares if that's a homeless person? Hold that damn door open. You might not be looking your best that day either. You probably ran out to the store to get something. You don't want people to judge you. That's how we gotta think. How about those days I ran out with rollers in my hair and I saw everybody I didn't want to see? Well, do you want them to judge you? Because that was a moment for you. So that's the process thought you got to keep in mind when you're dealing with people you don't know. And that's where the badass Buddha said about less judgment. You know, my motto is how I live my life. I give everybody I meet for the first time an A until they fuck it up. Because I'm not going to put judgment on them, because God knows I am not one to throw stones at anybody. So I think that if we just follow the simple rules that we learned in kindergarten, you know, play nice, share,
Yes.
hold hands when you're crossing the street, say please and thank you. Don't eat the gum under the table. I mean, all these little things you learn in kindergarten.
Or the paste, don't eat the glue.
That is something.
Actually, and kids are great for that, because kids know no judgment, especially under a certain age. They'll play with anybody. They don't ask what's your background, how much money do you make, you know. They don't see color, they don't see religion, they don't see any background. To them it is in the moment, and it's just play with me, play
That's
with
it.
That's it. And what they judge is if the person is going to play, if the other child is going to play or not. Like, are they going to play well or not? And if they're not, then I go on to somebody else. I play with somebody else. And it's the same thing. And that's, again, you're right. We teach the kids, play nicely. So maybe that's what we need to keep saying to adults, is play nicely. Like, don't see, it's like, don't put your head into it, and what your thoughts are based on looking at somebody or hearing somebody speak, that you create a judgment based on them. That's, I think, for me, that's one of the things that I want to see going into this year, is that we diminish judgment on one another, that we look at each other non-judgmental, with compassion, and ask people, what can I do for you? How can I help you? As opposed to, what is it that you want from me? Because that has been our MO for so long, that it is always about, what do they want from me?
But what does that go back to? That goes back to low self-esteem. Like, don't put your trust issues, your low self-esteem bullshit on me. What do you mean, what I want from you? I'm saying hi. You know, I don't want nothing from you. I have everything I need.
And fear was a big one this year. Like,
yeah,
if you think about it, fear was a big. So we were joking, and we were talking about, yes, there was the bad stuff that did happen this year. We had a lot of deaths. We had a lot of sickness, and there's still banter about back and forth of whether or not the actual numbers of deaths are really accurate. And that is something we will never probably truly know or not. But we do know that people were definitely affected by the virus, and we did lose a lot of people from the virus, and people did get sick. We want to focus on the fact that there are people that did survive. There were people that got it that didn't have many symptoms, and that they're really doing well. And those that were really sick are doing much better.
Absolutely.
So those are the beauties of it. People gained weight during this time because we just didn't know what to do with ourselves. We were home, we were tempted, we were stressed. So there was a lot of stress. We dealt with homeschooling our kids and working from home. There was never enough toilet paper in the first few months. I don't know where the hell all the toilet paper, why was it never an issue before when people worked? So all of a sudden you're home and toilet paper became scarce. Lysol became scarce, and we all realized after the fact that we should have invested in Lysol company because we would have made a huge amount of money. And the hand sanitizing companies. There was paper shortage in general, I mean, paper towels. We got accustomed to sheltering in place, and it was very interesting for some people, and it was very hard on other people, depending on your situation. We did work meetings in our underwear because we could. Nobody knew. We just had a nice shirt on. Some people became best friends with their Uber Eats driver, and in fact bought them a Christmas gift this year and know their birthday and know them by first name for sure. We've had virtual love affairs. We've had virtual connections. But for many people, we've learned, whether forcibly or with open arms, to self-love and self-care, or at least be reminded of it.
You know, it's and it was the year of life's inventory. It was about you going into your pantry, which means inquiring within, and it was purging what no longer serves you. I think on a couple podcasts back, I spoke about how everyone in your life does not deserve a VIP seating in your life. Some of those bitches need to be in the nosebleed section, not totally out of your life because you're not cruel like that. And maybe they need from you, but sometimes people will suck the life out of you. And once they're fully charged, they walk away looking like you owe them something. And then they tend to come back when they're getting empty. And because we've always been the giver, we allow that. And then we suffer setbacks. So I say for 2021, you got to learn how to do the inventory, clear out your pantry. You got to sharpen your scissors and cut them cords to some of those people. And then some of them, you need to usher them to the nosebleed section. And keep your VIP very tight, because not everybody is in it for the best. And 2020 was, a 50-50 gift, where we were given a gift to take charge of our lives. Whether it was as it was happening or now towards the end. And my only question to you before we leave, if anybody can answer, is did anybody take heed to that calling? Did anybody decide to clean out their pantry, to cut them cords of individuals that no longer serve you, whether family, friends, lovers, boyfriends, husbands, and lovers? I don't care. I'm not going to judge you. And just everything else that you no longer need. And when I say inventory, I'm talking about spirits that enter your realm right here. And other stuff you've carried on from past relationships, from past apartments and houses, and you just have it locked up in a bin. If it's been in a bin for 6 months or more and you haven't touched it, throw it the fuck out or donate it. That means it's not for you anymore. You need to purge. Once you start purging this, you know what? Let me tell you something. This is one of my favorite cups. I love it. I use it all the time, right? My granddaughter, Savannah Ray, sent me a Christmas gift yesterday. And this is how I received it. And it was heartbreaking. But you know what happens? Either I'm going to package it and send it back. I don't know. I have to hear back from that. Or I have to purge it because it doesn't serve me, right? What am I going to have? A light and sweet coffee? Pour it through there and pretend I'm drinking it? Is that the way I'm going to trigger my brain? So stop doing that. Stop settling. Stop settling. If you want to work for or be on the cover of Forbes magazine, but right now you're on unemployment, don't give up on that dream. Work towards it. Everything is one step at a time. Work towards it. And that's what we're saying. The sky's the limit. And if people are going to talk shit, if people are going to drag you back, carry your scissors at all times and cut, cut, cut.
Might have to even stab a little too sometimes.
And purge, take inventory, be kind, and smile through every change you're going through, whether you're angry. I did that a lot yesterday. Whether you're angry, whether you're sad, whether you're unhappy, whether you're horny. I don't care what you're going through at the moment. Smile and trust the process. And then let's go into 2021 wearing our crowns and sashay our asses into the unknown, but knowing who we are and how firm we stand. You know what? We survived 2020, bitch. Bring it on. Yeah. So keep your goals tight. Keep them focused, and let's move on.
And the question to ask yourself too, in addition, is that if I didn't shift well this year, then why? Why didn't I shift well? If this was a really challenging year for me, what happened? And so you could say, well, I lost my job, or I was on unemployment and I didn't pay my bills. Okay, that's one piece. And you write that down. But the other thing is then you say to yourself, why? Like, what else? What else was there? Because again, you can go and do a search of all the, if you write into the Google search and say, what great things happened in 2020, and you just remind yourself of the things that people did. And you have to remember that these people just did it. Nobody said for them to do it. People might have said, that's stupid. Why are you even trying that? And they just did it anyway. And so you have to ask yourself, could I have done something differently? What else could I have done? And we know we could have, should have, would have. That's the past. So all we do is learn from it. And then we say, well, what can I do now to better my future, to better myself for the upcoming? So, and that is what we're going to do for the conversation on Thursday. We're going to set intentions for 2021. We're going to create goals and just, set ourselves up for absolute success and fulfillment and peace. Whatever it is important to you, that's what we're going to help you set up for on the Thursday's conversation. So we really hope that you join us for that conversation. If not live, then at least sometime in the near future after the broadcast. Anything else, Guru?
First of all, before everybody starts leaving, I want to thank everybody for coming out and sharing, because you know what, this is we're transitioning. There's a funny thing in Spanish that says we are so far yet so close, like January to December, because it's December, January smack, and then January takes a whole year for December. And I love that little saying, because it's so true. Because here we are heading into January, but it's going to take us a whole year to get back to December. So it's about what you do in that year that's going to matter. Okay, you survived 2020. We may have lost people. We may have, people were sick. We couldn't touch them. We couldn't reach them. A lot of people, virtual love, virtual connections, the building bridges to success is one of the greatest things the Badass Buddha and I have done this year. I hope many of you have done so too. But just remember, you know what? Put your headphones on, put your salsa shoes on New Year's Eve, even though you're going from your bedroom to the living room, and you dance and have that genuine joy within as it strikes the new year, and you carry that through. And when a dump trunk dumps all that stinky garbage on you, you brush yourself off and says, I'm on a mission, and you keep going. That's how you conquer 2021, with self-love, self-care, and definitely self-trust. That's it.
Moving on a high note. That's fantastic. Thank you, Drew. That's awesome. So on Thursday, we will have our guest, Ephraim Silva, and we will be talking. The title is Happy New Year. And we're going to be talking about going into a fabulous 2021. So we hope that you come on. And thank you, everybody, for coming on today. We had so many people. We love all the banter. We love all the comments. Thank you so much for coming on. And we will see you on Thursday. So remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
Mi gente, breathe in the beauty. Breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste.